It is time for another episode of Argo Sports Insider, and we are shining the light on all things UWF Athletics. I'm Will Kennedy. We've got a lot to get into this week. UWF Swimming and Diving hit the pool in Indianapolis last week for the NCAA Division II National Championships. The Argos placed 6th in the team standings. That ties the program record for best ever finish. UWF collected 37 All-American awards, and all 14 Argo student athletes scored at the national meet. Congratulations go out to coaches Phil Krause and Barbara Parker and to the entire UWF Swimming and Diving team. UWF baseball continues to keep a busy schedule, and the Argos were at home last weekend with Christian Brothers visiting the Spoon. The boys broke out the broom, sweeping the Bucks in the series and scoring 29 runs across the 3 games. Jaden Fryman hit for the cycle, single, double, triple home run in 4 straight at-bats in the series finale.
McDowell had a big weekend, and Jaden Fryman hit for the cycle today in that second game. I think only the second cycle I've had since I've been the head coach here. Last one was Nick Strasser back in 2018. So to do that, it's very rare, very tough thing to do. Proud of him for that. Proud of all these guys, how they did. Kate Manderscheid pitching the way he did when you have a big lead, that's not easy. And, so I thought he showed a lot of focus right there, keeping them, off the bases, not letting anything, get started there, even with a big lead and dragging it out. So proud of the way they, stepped up and held their standard on what they wanted to do. And, we got to get ready for a big week.
UWF was back in action on Tuesday, bringing Georgia Southwestern down to Blue Wahoo Stadium in Pensacola. The Canes came to play out of the Peach Belt and jumped on top early before cruising to a big win. The two teams turned around and met on Wednesday on campus at Jim Spooner Field, and the visitors would leave town with a 9-8 victory at a sweep of the 2 games. The Argos are now 17-8 overall. They're 10-2 in the GSC. They will hit the road this weekend for a showdown series Saturday and Sunday against conference rival Delta State. Softball took part in the spring cleaning at home last weekend, sweeping up Christian Brothers in a 3-game set at the Fork. The Argos scored 34 runs, so more than baseball, in run ruling the Bucks in all 3 of those wins. This team also broke the program's single-season home run record during that series. We've still got lots of games to play. They pushed the 2024 total to 53 round-trippers so far. Seniors Maddie Vasquez and Montana Young were named top performers this week by the National Coaches Association. This is the 3rd straight week the Argos have had players recognized there.
This team is special, and they're starting to connect and get hot at the right time of the year, which is super exciting. As a coaching staff, we knew what they could do. We just had to have them build that self-confidence in them, and I think they're starting to do that a lot more, having set that record and being one of the top teams in the nation in that area. But it's really fun. They knew that they had to help out the pitching staff early on, and now our pitchers are starting to get their confidence in the circle and start to throw a lot better, and knowing that they do have that hitting behind them, that if they give up a home run or if they give up a couple hits, they know their teammates are going to have their back. So it's a special group. They're really, really coming together, so it's going to be fun to see how we end this year.
UWF is now 17-12 on the season, 6-6 in conference play. They will also be in Cleveland, Mississippi this weekend to face Delta State. Both tennis teams are nationally ranked, and both have been plenty busy lately. The men knocked off nationally ranked Xavier, Louisiana, and Ouachita Baptist at home this week. They are now 8-4 on the season. The women went 2-1 during the week. They beat ranked Xavier before dropping a 4-3 decision to number 8 nationally, Johns Hopkins. The Argos would bounce back on Wednesday with a win over Henderson State. UWF is now 8-4 on the women's side. Both the men and women travel to Georgia this weekend. It's very busy. Check this out. They'll take on Shorter Thursday, Columbus State on Friday, and then North Georgia to round out that trip to the Peach State. The 17th ranked men's golf team finished 4th in the Bobcat Invitational up in Georgia, with freshman TJ Thompson leading the Argos at 4 over par with a 214 over the 2 days. TJ is the Gulf South Conference Freshman of the Week for that performance, and the men are back in action in 3 weeks' time, hosting the Argonaut Invitational. The UWF women finished 5th at the Emerald Coast Collegiate down in Destin. Sophomore Millie Thompson led the Argos with a top 10 individual finish. Millie is the GSC Golfer of the Week on the women's side. And spring football wrapped up this week with the spring game on Thursday. UWF also hosted Pro Day this week, bringing 20 or so NFL teams to campus to watch a group of recent Argos work out for the Scouts as they look to make that jump to the professional level. That's a look at all that we've got going on with UWF Athletics for this week. GoArgos.com is the hot spot for all your rosters, schedules, your latest news and notes, changes in schedule, because that happens a lot here in the spring. And don't forget, download the Argo Armada app on your phone or tablet and follow all of our teams across their various social media platforms. We will see you next week, and as always, Argo Nation, go Argos!